Hi, I'm MarquisDan. This is going to be Warriors 3. For those of you not familiar with the game, it's like a early 90s, late NES, like proto-Metroidvania game. It's really different from the other Warriors games if you played those. I'm just going to hop on into it here. I'll give you a countdown, Todd, and we'll get going. So I'll go 3, 2, 1, go. So it'll be 3, 2, 1, go. So as I mentioned before, this is a like Metroidvania or like proto-Metroidvania game. I can go anywhere I want. The whole world's open, but I'm gonna run into different obstacles that I can't get through unless I have the right tools. But since we're playing any percent, I'm gonna be doing a lot of sequence breaking and just skipping about half of the game. The way you get powers and tools in this game is to join guilds. There's 3 different kinds of guilds. There's thief guilds, wizard guilds, and knight guilds. We're gonna knock out all 3 thief guilds right away because those are the guilds that let us go fast, and we're speedrunning and we want to go fast. So this is our first thief guild. All 3 thief guilds, unfortunately, are auto scrollers, but we do have to do them all in sequence. But as soon as we knock these out, it'll be a lot more fun platforming stuff. So while we're in the auto-scroller, I'll have a little bit of time to kind of explain the plot of the game. What I'm going to be doing here is I'm trying to rescue the town, right? This town is called Pied Up. It's been, their king, King James, has been usurped by the evil wizard Malkill, who's taken his place. And the town is everyone's just kind of going evil over some like gems they found underground or something. It's a little convoluted. So for this boss here, I'm going to be doing a quick AI manip. If I stand here and do the same 2 inputs back and forth, the boss is going to continuously dodge until he dies, which is not an optimal strategy, I don't think, for any boss. But there we go, 1 down. So we've got our first thief costume. I'm going to be moving a little bit faster, but not as much as when I get the 2nd and 3rd level costumes. The other thing the thief costume lets us do is go into the underground section of the game, which is something we'll be doing a lot later. Alright, I just need to buy a few keys. This gentleman is very helpful. He sells keys to every door in town. And we've got enough keys for the rest of the game, so we don't have to go shopping anymore. Now we're approaching our first mini-boss. This guy, you can kind of interrupt his attacks and push him around the room. So as long as I keep this rhythm, we're fine. I take 1 intentional hit here, I stand on the fire to keep my iframes going, and easy peasy. If you miss an attack on that boss, it does get pretty hairy. He jumps all over the place. I think we're actually on a pretty good pace so far. So we got our silver thief statue that's going to let us join our level 2 thief guild. We're just going to have to climb up there. So now I'm going to be doing some fairly precise platforming that doesn't look like much, but what I'm doing is I'm keeping a certain amount of townspeople and dogs and stuff in memory at all times, and that's causing the NES to not be able to spawn any of the barriers that's keeping me from going to the last half of the game. I've skipped 2 big barriers there. You're just gonna have to trust me that that was done correctly because it doesn't look like I did anything, but I promise you there was a glitch there. Alright, so now we're here. We're in Thief 2. Thief 2 is the same map as Thief 1, but these doors will troll you. You have to know which ones to go through without going to the spikes. Speaking of spikes, you can actually go into them a little bit without dying because the hitbox is all the way on the bottom. It's kind of fun. We're going to see Kuros, our hero, do giant leaps in his full plate. He never skips leg day. We dance. So this boss, it's really tight pixel-wise where I can stand, but if I do it right, I should be able to manipulate the AI and only take a couple of hits here. So just 1 dodge. You get another one in here. Nope, only got 1. Now I overlap hitboxes, and then I make him dodge back. It was 1 pixel too far forward there. Like I said, it's very, very tight. It's okay, it's just going to cost us 1 cycle. No big problem. Easy peasy. So you can do that one cycle faster. thief bosses are all about dancing, being in the right spots, attacking the... There's a bunch of... you make your sword's hitbox and their dagger hitbox overlap, and they dodge back. It's a little tricky to learn, but it makes the run go quite quickly. So now we're going on to get our gold thief statue, which is our last one. And to do that, we're going to have to fight a boss with this crowbar. The crowbar's hitbox is 1 pixel. So, unfortunately, the boss's hitbox kind of extends 50% past his body on the left. So what we do is we go and we tack the air to the left side of the boss. I just kind of manipulate where he lands, and then if I do this just right, he should die right by the door. There we go. And there's our last thief statue. And now we have to get all the way across town without killing anyone, just like in real life. And the reason we're not killing anyone, that includes just pushing them off the ledges, because that screws up the glitch that despawns all the barriers. There is a backup we can do with the damage boost, but it's kind of hard. So hopefully we get this done without murdering anyone. Alright, so now we get to our first of 3 princesses. Evil Wizard Malkiel has kidnapped the 3 princesses who live in this town. They each have a crown jewel. So when we rescue them, they give us the jewel, and we use that to unlock the door to the last boss. Alright, where's my doggy? There he is. Okay, we're good. In order to get those jewels, we do have to agree to marry the princess, which, if you're counting, that means we'll be engaged 3 times by the end of the game. But the princesses do not take no for an answer. You're literally stuck in that room until you agree to marry them. This one, it's a door maze, just like the second Thief Guild. The pattern on this one is a little easier because you can take every door and still complete it. Otherwise, you just have to watch for these arrows and daggers, but they always come at the exact same spots, so it's just a little memorization game. The boss here is exactly the same as the silver one, except way more health. So, I have died on this boss in marathons before, so we're going to try to not do that. If I can stand on the correct pixels. Oh, we got the first one. Can we go for 2? We got 2. That's the best start you can get. That was a pretty good start so far. So now I'm just going to kind of... it's going to look sloppy. But I'll take hits on purpose just to get the iframes, because then I can attack the boss without waiting for his rest state. Alright, so now we have all 3 Thief Guilds done. It's the end of the auto-scrollers. We have our 3rd level Thief costume. We don't have a weapon in this costume. We have a key. It's enormous. That's the barrier I despawned, by the way. And it lets us open any door in the game. So we no longer have to buy keys. We have to use a series of secret doors, just kind of hop up into the palace area. This whole game is vertical. There's a series of caves, and then the town, and then on top of the town is a palace. I don't know how that works architecturally, but that's how it is. It was a little slow getting up there. Usually I can sneak past that guy. That's fine. We are in 1970s castle, my favorite part of the castle. So this is all some, like, I don't know, this is kind of fun platforming section. You never stop jumping, never stop moving. Speaking of jumping and moving in this game, I didn't explain. The movement speeds in this game are a little bit different than some other NES games. Jumping is actually the slowest form of movement. Running is much faster. You move about 75% of your running speed when you jump. But unfortunately, this game, like all Wizards Warriors games, is very, very vertical. So, ooh, I missed my jump, but it's okay. We got to back up. But we do have to jump a lot, but we try to avoid it as much as we can. All right, welcome to our 2nd princess. Same story. She's like, will you marry me? I'll give you this gem. And we're like, okay. But again, she does not take no for an answer. Alright, so we're done with the town and the palace already. We skipped all the night guilds because of a recent skip was found in this game that lets us get by without any of those tools. I'll show you that in a moment. But we do have to get a couple of wizard costumes to complete the game. This is the bouncer. He doesn't let you get in without the right outfit, which in this case is the thief outfit. We have our first wizard statue. And we're gonna hop over to the first wizard guild, which is very conveniently located next door to the statue. They're always like, can you please bring my long lost statue back? I'll let you join the wizard guild. It's like, your statue is next door, dude. Did you really lose it? So, how do you become a wizard? Do you study? Do you get a cool robe? I don't know. The real answer is, you have to jump on onions. You have to jump on onions in front of a pink shag carpet. So all the wizard trials are like this. We're going to skip the second one because this is any %. And we're going to proceed directly to the third one after this. The first one's not too bad. The onions are pretty big. The physics in this game are not great. So you can clip into the corners of these onions really easily and just fall down and lose like a minute of time. Luckily we got to the top. This boss is pretty easy. There's some safe pixels you can stand on. And he pretty much just leaves you alone. Oh yeah, this game is great. It's a pretty late NES game. It's like 1990. Oh man, I can't remember, 91 or 93. It's like, yeah, it's the graphics are a lot better than the first game. It's a lot less complete. The people who made it did not really have time to finish it before their studio closed. But anyway, I'll get to that in a second. So now I need everybody to get their first try emotes ready, because I'm going to get this on the first try. Oh, I actually did get it on. That was supposed to be a joke. I got it on the first try. Yeah, alright. So that's the Jackie clip. That was discovered like 3 weeks ago by a runner called Jackie B. And it lets us skip like a minute 20. And like a 3-year-old world record got dropped like multiple times in the last month because of that clip. It's a pretty exciting time to be a Wizards & Warriors 3 speedrunner. All 5 of us are very, very happy. So this boss is one of those ones that has, it's just like a worm with segments that fall off as you hit him. The creators of the game said they base this off of something from R-Type. I've never really played R-Type, but that's what they said. He's always the same pattern, you just gotta memorize it. I've missed a few shots. This second phase is also the same pattern. He just spawns at different points in it, so once you see where he's at, you can know where he's going. Second phase is a little easier than the first phase because in general, he just kind of comes out of the same hole he goes into. But after this phase, we'll have our... Yeah, that was fairly smooth. We'll have our gold wizard statue. And we can proceed to the level 3 wizard guild. This is the hardest jumps in the game. If you rented this as a kid, this is probably where you quit. I know that's when I quit. Because I could not beat this guild. We have to go in and get kicked out one time because he only lets wizards go in here. But the door is a skeleton key door, which means you absolutely need the level 3 thief to open it. And there we go. So now these are about a third of the size, between half and a third of the size of the previous onions. They still have the problem where you clip into the corners, so it's even less room than it looks like to stand on these things. The momentum of the onions moving and you moving and the programming leads to some really unfortunate physics interactions. Hopefully I'll get this all on the first try. This right here is going to be the hardest jump in the game. It doesn't look so bad, but the physics there are really wonky. Alright, oh. Okay. Ah. He's being mean. Okay. I just need to get in the right spot. We'll be fine. And unfortunately my D-pad is getting a little loose there. I don't know if you saw me flip to the right. Had the wrong input. There we go. That was kind of a sloppy boss fight. But we made it. Alright, so now we're going to head on to our last princess. We're going to hop into the thief costume again because it's the fastest. You generally want to keep costume changes to a minimum when speedrunning because they do eat up some time. There we go, first try. This door here has 4 different exits depending on what order you go into it, so we use that to kind of hop all the way across the caves laterally. Brings us just next door to our princess. Knowing all the secret doors and stuff in this game is a huge boon to getting a fast time. And here is our third and final princess. But we do need 4 gems to unlock the last door, so we need to fight a dragon for our last gem. And thankfully, the dragon is just below the last princess. Now we're here in the dragon's room. I remember seeing this in the, I can't remember if it was on the box or in the instruction manual, but when I was a kid I was like, oh man, this is going to be the coolest fight. This fight is not too hard, but it has huge time penalties. I'll kind of explain as I'm going here. So these platforms here are not properly coded as ground. It is pretty cool. Actually, I'd say it's the coolest looking fight. Anyway, these platforms are not properly coded as ground. So if I have iframes on, like if I get hit by the boss, I'm just gonna fall right through these platforms. I can like kind of try to jump and stay up, but if I get hit even one time, there's like a pretty high chance that the fight is gonna have to be restarted. And there's not a lot I can do in some circumstances about that. But that is why my estimate's so high. My PB is about 20 minutes, and I think the estimate's 25. And it's mostly just for this dragon. But fortunately, we had a pretty happy dragon. He was nice to us. So we might get a pretty good time here. I shot a bunch of fireballs in the air there. Those set up some memory addresses that we're going to be using in a glitch later. The position of the fireballs is saved in memory in the same location the last boss uses for his attack patterns. So if we get that to be a kind of unexpected value, we can kill the boss with a glitch. So I'll show you that in a few minutes. But now we're at the climb. And the climb has no enemies, just kind of tense music and platforming. I found out a bit of trivia this week about this, that the music here continuously speeds up. So if you just like sit here long enough, it speeds up so fast, like to the degree where the music stops playing because it can't anymore. Let's see. Oh, I had it. There's a way you can skip one jump there, but I held my A button down too long and buffered it, so we lost a jump anyway. There's a third form of movement besides jumping, and that is what the third wizard guild gives us, which is this levitate move. The levitate is very slow, but it does let you get to places you would not otherwise be able to go. But we do try to avoid levitating as much as we can, because when we're speedrunning, we want to go as fast as possible. So this climb has 2 sections of each area of the game. So that's 2 caves, 2 town, and 2 palace sections. So right now we're in our second of 2 town sections. And we'll be in our palace sections soon. You can see the King James on the painting there. We're going to rescue him next. Yeah, I can tell by the music already that I'm about half a screen ahead of schedule, which is nice. Alright, so we're going to try to do what's called the alcove trick here, where you can go into the alcoves and levitate across, and that saves you time versus just levitating straight up, and that is because jumping is so much faster than levitating. I did miss one there, so it's going to be kind of a wash. But we didn't fall to the bottom, so we're still in okay shape. Time is going to be fairly soon, actually. So here's good King James. He's like, hey, some dude took my chair. Go get him. We're gonna go get him. There is the evil wizard Malkill. He says, do you want to join me? We could rule the world. If you choose yes, that is instant game over. Alright, so time is just in a few seconds. I'm gonna use a glitch to time. So what I did there is if I'm levitating over certain pixels, when the boss goes to read his pattern, he dies. Like, it just instantly dies. If you're photosensitive, like, look away, like, right now, because it's gonna be bright flashing lights. But yeah, that's Wizards Warriors 3. I love this game. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to run it, Todd, man. I love using this game to support charities. Big shout out to the Wizard Warriors community, Jackie, Daskus, Limit Break, and Chris, and everybody else. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thanks everyone, and have a good day.
MarquisDan, thank you so much for that run. We appreciate that. That was actually a very interesting looking game. I might have to pick it up and give it a swing. I feel like a chump for missing out on that in my childhood. And now I'm showing my age. Anyways, speaking of childhood, next up we have a Crash Bandicoot block. I'm gonna go ahead and get that cropping. You all enjoy the music. Thanks for being here.